All right, Israel. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Double honor to the elders that rule well. And shalom to the elect who's preaching this word on the highways and byways. And some of the brothers, preaching on the inside of the house too. We're going to come at the brothers who are on basically in front of the 12 tribe sign, who are getting ready to come in this thing and they're just learning you're an Israelite and all that, Basically, you need to just, come in the truth quiet, or maybe you just came into camp, because some brothers, and I had a problem with this. When you first come in, you come to your family or you come to the world. You might have friends in the world, and you might already have kids and a wife, and you feel like you need to teach everybody. But that's not necessarily how it is, There's balance to this thing, and it comes a time and place for everything, right? And if the Lord's going to wake them up, he's going to wake them up. But the most thing you need to do is just be quiet and just roll with the Spirit. And if the Lord wants to wake somebody up, he'll wake them up. If not, then, you got to work out your own salvation, Because the most important thing when you first come in this truth is just to be quiet, be humble. And, people are going to think you're weird. If you came all the way from the gutter, and if you were a very, very, a big nigga, just out there being hella wicked, and all of a sudden the Lord put that spirit on you to be righteous, then people aren't going to understand. They're not going to understand at all, And, they're going to talk about you behind your back, They might say it to your face. They might stop dealing with you, whatever it might be, man. And just, hold fast and keep this word and just stay with the brothers that you got and that you met, and the ones that are on the highways and byways doing the work with you. All right?
All right. We're going to get into some scriptures here. This is James 1:19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
Right, because sometimes this goes even when you're on the highways and byways. You have some brothers on the front of the sign. When you're out there learning, just learn. Don't say nothing. You might, if you have a question, then ask. Ask that question. But if not, because you have scoffers coming up all the time, let them brothers scoff. Salaki, let them niggas scoff. Let them Edomites scoff. You just be quiet, take it all in, soak it all in like a sponge. You know what I mean?
If I could say something, it's important to maintain and be quiet because, you actually don't have all the breakdowns.
Right.
You don't know everything.
Right.
But what happens if you're on the highways and byways and you don't know something, you get confounded out there on the streets. So it's important to actually keep humble, keep your mouth shut until you have those understandings. Because when you come into the truth, you got everything, you're an Israelite. People start feeling themselves and think they know everything. Right. That's not true. You still have to maintain. Even if you've been in the truth 4, 5, 6 years, you still have to maintain and be humble. Being humble is important because you don't know everything, Right. Okay, we're going to get into some more scriptures here. We got Sirach 28, 25, and 26. And weigh thy words in a balance, and make a door and a bar for thy mouth. Beware thou slide not by it, lest thou fall before him that lieth in wait.
Right, because you might have a job, you might be at work, and let's say you just learned and found out you're an Israelite. The first thing you're going to try to do is teach somebody. Just hold your tongue, be quiet, and keep it moving. You can't wake up everybody, bro. Everybody's not going to be woken up. Just watch your mouth, because like the brother was just bringing out, you could actually, you can slice and dice yourself. The scriptures will cut you up, and you won't even have to be with an Israelite. An Edomite can cut you up.
Well, how are you going to teach and you don't know nothing yourself?
Right. Because the scriptures say knowledge puffeth up. So you're going to be high-minded. You're going to think you know something. And this situation happened with me. Before I even came into the camp, there was a situation where my woman's cousin came over and we had a little debate in the house. And when it was all over with, I got cut. But by some women. So you might have 6 scriptures, but you might have a nigga woman who been going to church, and the nigga woman don't know anything anyway. The nigga woman been going to church 15 years, and she pulled out 8 scriptures and got you in there looking like a dummy. You know what I mean? So just hold your tongue, you know, and just wait, because it's a time and place for everything. All right.
Right. It's important, you know, just be there, you know, listen to people. I mean, that's what the brotherhood is for. You have the elders, you know, you have the older brothers. You have to sit there and listen to them, you know, because I mean they, you know, you're dealing with people in the world. These brothers out here to try to help you, you know, to help you grow in the truth, you know. So I'm gonna go into another scripture. This is 1 Peter 5:5, and I'll go to the 6th verse. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject to one another and be clothed with humility.
Right. Just all you need to be doing is watching the videos, watching the elders, you know what I mean? Watching the sit downs. The people who've been doing this thing before you, you need to be watching them. Don't get so high minded to where you think you know something. You know what I mean?
For the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
Right. Because when you find out this knowledge, and when you learn this knowledge, you get prideful and you think you know something. And really you don't know anything yet. This is you're just barely drinking a little bit of the milk, you know what I mean? You haven't even got into the meat yet. So you really don't know nothing. So just fall back and just be humble, hold your tongue, and keep moving. Learn these scriptures and leave it at that.
All right. This is the 6th verse. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that He may exalt you in due time. And that's very important, not to try to be the guy that know every single breakdown and try to get some sort of glory from men or look like you have this breakdown, that breakdown. If it's meant for you to be exalted, the Most High going to exalt you.
Right.
It's not going to be off your will. It's going to be off the Most High. So if you're actually doing what you're supposed to do, then the Most High going to exalt you.
Right.
You know, you can't be jealous of somebody else that's doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're getting exalted in the truth. You know, it's not up to you. You can know a million breakdowns, but the Most High going to exalt you in the end. You know?
Just hold your tongue, brothers, you know, because you know, we're at a time right now where the best thing to do is be quiet. You know, that's the best thing to do.
I got Romans. We bring out Romans 8. We're going to start at 6.
Okay.
For to be carnally minded is death.
Right, because when you learn things, you be like, you might be in a break room at work, and let's say you're with a small company and there's 6 or 7 people in the break room and they're all Jakes. You might want to let them know that I know this and I know that, and hey man, y'all are Israelites, man. Why y'all going to that church, man? And you know, you don't need to be going there, man. You need to be on the highways and byways. And you make yourself want to seem like that dude. And that's being carnal as hell. You know? Keep going, brother.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Right. So just be spiritual. Because if you be quiet and keep it spiritual, you're going to have some peace. You might be that dude way over there in the corner in the lunch break room. Right. Way, way over in the corner to yourself. You know? And people are going to think you're strange as hell. Like, man, what's wrong with that dude? But you'll have more peace than if you go to the brothers or to the people in the world or the people in your lunch break room and just trying to break something down to them, let them know they're Israelite.
Yeah, well, then again, you're making a target. You're making yourself a target for everybody, you know? So you're making yourself a target. That's not peace. You got to go to work every day. People talking shit. I mean, I'm sure most brothers go through the thing of being called a Muslim or whatever they, you know, niggas want to call you. I mean, you making yourself a target by talking all the time. Right. You know, telling people what you're about. You ain't got to do all that, you know? Okay, I'm going to go to some more scriptures, man. This is Matthew 6:1. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men.
Right. Basically, when you do something, don't try to, the same as in what was it, Romans you just brought out? Don't try to let everybody see what you're doing and be very boastful and, you know, be like you that dude.
to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
You're not gonna have no reward for trying to break down stuff in front of people who are not on the highways and byways. You being carnal as hell.
Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets.
Right, that's what the hypocrites do. Try to make themselves seen, try to make themselves be known. Like, I'm trying to wake this person up, man. They ain't getting it.
That they may have glory of men.
And that's what you try to do. You try to glory yourself in front of men. You need to glory yourself in front of the Most High, because a man can't do nothing for you. You know, they're in the flesh. The Most High is the one who created you. You need to be trying to get as many brownie points as you can with the Most High. Good.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth.
Right. If you meet a sincere person and they kind of seem like, you know, they're a good person, and maybe that you can drop a couple scriptures on them and they might understand, you know, kind of do it on the low. You know, you don't have to do it in front of a whole bunch of people.
Try the spirit.
Right. You know, so, because there's a time and place for everything. Go ahead.
That thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly.
Right, because that's all that matters. It all that matters that the Most High sees. It's nobody's business, you know. It's a secret. It's nobody's business, man. This truth is for the elect and the elect only. It's nobody else's business, man. There's going to be so many people they're not going to get it, bro. They're just not going to get it. And, you know, you can't worry about them. You got to work out your own salvation.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men.
Right. That's that vainglory. You know what I mean? That's that vainglory. And that's one thing that Jake does in the world. They try to, like I keep saying, they try to be like, I'm that dude. You know? That's not going to get you nowhere. That's vain as hell. That's not going to get you anywhere. It might get you somewhere in the world, but in this truth, no. You got to be humble and fall back.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to the Father which is in secret, and the Father which see in secret shall reward thee openly.
Right, because you know, I mean, no, man, you can't be praying in front of nobody, man. You can't be praying in front of nobody at all, you know. And like I said, when you first come into this truth, you do get that pride on you to where you might let somebody know, oh man, I don't do that stuff. I gotta come over here and pray and all that stuff. Man, it's nobody's business, man. You know, don't let nobody know, man. Just do it in secret. Okay. Do it in the closet. Do it, you know, way, way, way away from everybody else. All right, what you got next?
This is Ecclesiastes 5, and I'm going to start at 2, going to 3. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High.
Right. It's the same thing we've been saying, bro. You know, it's a time and place for everything. You don't go everywhere you're at. Like, let's say, you know, you're just learning about this truth, and let's say y'all have a family reunion or something like that. You're not gonna go out there and say, hey man, hey grandma, did you know that we were Israelites? You know what I mean? You're not gonna do that. You're setting yourself up for a trap.
But you're definitely not gonna get it.
Right.
For the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few.
Is it? Yeah. Con, you're gonna let your words be few, because like I just said, you're gonna make your words be a trap, and then you might get into something to where you might have to explain something that you don't even know. Right. And that goes back to what we were saying a while ago. You can get cut, and you can just be sitting there looking crazy as hell in front of a handful of people in a room. Like, well, what's the next answer?
Right. The Most High will do that to you.
Right.
The Most High will do that. He'll put you in a situation where you get confounded by some idiots.
Like I did.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. So I mean, just sit back. Just sit back and learn. You know, what is even the benefit of sitting up there arguing with some idiots? Right. You know, unless somebody's being edified, then what's the reason for talking? Right. You know, to prove that you know this, to prove that you know that. But really, ultimately, is somebody being edified by it? The answer is probably no. You know.
All right. And you get proud when you first figure out that you're an Israelite and all that stuff. Like you get happy. You know what I mean? Oh man, I know who I am now. You know what I mean? And it comes to a point where you want to tell somebody, but like I said, there's a time and place for everything, and everybody doesn't need to know. The elect only needs to. The elect is the only one who's going to get brought in, and that's a 1/3 of our people, and that's a small percentage. So when you figure that out, you look around and be like, man, a lot of people not going to make it. A lot of people not going to make it. Right? And set your mind on that. And when you figure that out, just keep it moving.
All right. This is the third verse. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by the multitude of his words.
Right. You could be counted a fool by just being hasty with your mouth, being hasty with your tongue, just saying anything. Because you're gonna expose yourself by what you're saying. You know what I mean? So just keep quiet. All right. The main thing you want 4 and 7.
I'm doing Proverbs 11 and 2. Okay. This is a Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
Right. This is what we've been saying since the beginning of this. Just there's a time and place for everything. There's a time to be quiet, and there's a time to speak. It's a balance. You know what I mean? Because like I said, everybody's not going to wake up. It's a balance to everything with the Most High. A false balance is an abomination.
All right. You know, I mean, when the time comes to edify somebody, it'll open up. You have those times when you'll be able to actually edify somebody. You don't have to just talk to everybody, because everybody ain't gonna get it. Your woman ain't gonna get it. So sitting up there talking to her, she ain't gonna get it. Telling her that she's an Israelite, yeah, she might know that, but she don't really care about the scriptures at the end of the day.
You're not gonna catch no women on the highways and byways. You're not gonna catch them standing out there for 4 hours. You're not gonna catch them at Tuesday camp or Saturday camp or Friday camp or meeting up on Thursdays trying to put a sit down together, because they're all about the world. Right. They're nothing about this truth. They're all about high heels and jewelry and cars and all that stuff. They're all about the world.
Going out to eat.
Going out to eat. They're not gonna understand, bro. They're not gonna understand at all.
All right. Go on to the second verse. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. Mm-hmm. But with the lowly is wisdom.
Right. If you just kind of lay low, because I believe that's a scripture. He who holds his mouth is counted as wise or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's just paraphrasing it. But yeah, man, you could just being quiet, man, you'll be counted wise. Just being quiet. It's better to be quiet and say nothing. Make somebody kind of try to peep you out and seek you out.
Like the scripture's saying, it says, then when pride cometh, then shame cometh. If you notice, anytime somebody gets some pride in the truth, something always shameful comes to them. Right. There's going to be something that, even if they fall out of the truth, it's like they become very, very prideful, and then they start getting cut. And then there's videos and parodies made about them. That's because they were prideful. Right. And that's rightfully so. Rightfully so that those things happen. Rightfully so that these guys get rebuked. Because they're being prideful.
Go to
that's all deserved.
Knowledge puffeth up. What is knowledge puffeth up? It might be 1 Corinthians 8:1.
Said 8:1.
Yeah.
I got it here. This is 1 Corinthians 8:1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge.
We all have knowledge. And when it's talking about knowledge, it's not talking about knowledge of being smart in the world or history books and nothing like that. It's talking about the knowledge of these scriptures.
Right. Knowledge puffed up, but charity edified.
Right, because when you get some knowledge, you get all puffed up. You think you know something, Because there's been people who, even in the truth, they can have all the knowledge in the world, but they end up getting kicked out.
Sure.
You know, so that knowledge is not what's gonna get you. You know, it's not what's gonna get you through the faith. You know, it's not what's gonna get you through the truth and through the straight gate.
That's right. All right. I'm gonna jump into Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
Right. You need to just soak everything in like a sponge. Soak all this wisdom in before you decide to say anything at all. Because like we keep on saying, you can get confounded. You can be looking like a dummy in front of a whole bunch of people just because you don't know how to be quiet. You know, in this truth, you might learn fast, you might learn slow, you might get everything at once. But it's the spirit that's gonna work with you. But when you're first coming in, you have to be quiet. If you're out there standing on highways and byways taking notes, just let it be that. You're not ready to go out there and cut somebody. You're not ready to go out there and cut a Christian or an Edomite or something like that. It's a time and place for all that. All right.
Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou doest embrace her. And that's basically saying embrace these scriptures, you know. If you want to be at a certain level, embrace it. Take the scriptures. Live it. Live the scriptures. That's the most important thing. To have faith and live these scriptures. And that way you will get exalted by the Lord. You know? Right. That's the only way that's gonna happen. It's not with your own by you. You're not gonna do nothing. It's not your will. It's the Lord's will. Just sit back and learn. Learn and let the Spirit move. If it's up to you to edify somebody, if it's up to you to deal with a situation, it's gonna happen. You know? You got anything else? No. Okay, with that, we're gonna say Shalom, brothers. Hey, stay humble, man. Stay humble. Because you see what happens when you have a lot of pride, you know, like the scriptures say. So with that being said, Shalom.
Shalom.